statement that the MP for Nsowan Edwejiri made in Parliament.
Emphasis French.
He says that the NDC polluted water bodies more than the NPP. I still can't wrap my mind around how you can make such a statement. But anyway, let me read the story for you. Galamsey, NDC, this is on citynewsroom.com. NDC polluted water bodies more than NPP. Annoh-Dompreh. Now, the story here says, the Majority Chief Whip and Member of Parliament for Nsowan Edwejiri, Frank Annoh-Dompreh, claims that the previous National Democratic Congress government polluted water bodies more than the current New Patriotic Party government. This statement comes amid discussions on illegal mining activity, commonly known as galamsey, which are damaging the country's water bodies. Responding to the minority's concerns about the government's failure to tackle the issue during an emergency sitting of Parliament in Accra on Tuesday, Mr. Annoh-Dompreh asserted that an investigation would reveal that the NDC caused more water pollution during their tenure. And I quote, "I was very happy when the minority leader challenged us that we will debate this matter, and the culprit will be mentioned. In fact, we are ready to debate now. If we are to look and investigate both sides of the house, you have had the opportunity to rule this country before. I can tell you, you polluted the water more than us. You polluted the water more than us. So let's get the matter straight," he said. There you have it. Let me start. I'm going to start with.
Start with Elvis.
I should start with Elvis.
That's Elvis's friend.
Hey, my big brother.
So I want you to give us your thoughts on this, and in the context of also the Speaker of Parliament also saying that in this room here, I'm sure some of you are involved.
Good morning. I always say that politicians in our part of the world, they have a lot to learn. See, they have a lot to learn. And I hope they learn more. Because on such an important issue, if you want to make a statement, you should make a statement of facts, statements that are coming from well-researched data. You understand it? That will make anybody to follow the issue to know that, this presentation really provides some information. But I think they take, in our parliament, it's just like you have said something, I also want to say something.
Yeah.
And that is what the debate has been. And if you talk, you ask many people to tell, when the GH Mensens and also the champions and co were in parliament, that is when parliament started. But the debate in parliament is more information, more educative, more concrete issues are discussed, and the arguments are more solid than we are seeing today. So for many people, the quality of parliament really has gone down. If you compare, those days, Gbagbo was just a member in parliament, and those times were the ones that the Akufados, the Gbagbins, you see people who, these people, they are solid guys.
Yeah.
And when they are making arguments, they do ajawos and go. When they are making arguments, and the expectation was that as they started, we improve on it so that the parliament will become better and better. But it appears now that when you look at debate in parliament, the issue that comes from parliament, then you ask yourself whether really these people compared to the past, clearly vast difference. And I've always said that, look, they should, if they can't do it, they should get people to work for them, research for them, give them good information. See, because what he said here, I'm sure he will come and clarify. What he wants to say is that during the tenure of the NDC, water pollution was more than the tenure of the NPP. It's not about NDC polluted or other. NDC was, there's no way you can tell there's only one party that does galamsey under a particular government. It doesn't happen. under every government, both NDC and NPP, those who do the galamsey, they are both NDC and NPP people under every government. So if you go and say NDC polluted the water more than NPP, then you are creating the impression that galamsey is being done by the two parties themselves, and that when they are in power, one pollutes the water more than the other. Clearly, this is not even based on any facts, because the fact is that under NDC and the NPP,
both
those who engage in galamsey are both members of both parties. They are members of both parties. So how do you say that under NDC? As if under NDC, there were only NDC people doing galamsey, and under NPP, the only NPP people do galamsey. That can never be factual. If you go to the galamsey, come talk to people, they have different political affiliations, but that's what they do for a living. You understand? And the financiers who are financing this galamsey, who always are in Accra here, they are also big men in NDC and NPP. They are not from only one political party. So for them, my chief whip to make this statement, it's obvious that he's just trying to react to somebody because maybe a black guy said something and he felt like, I want to react. So the thought process, the actual information he should be able to put out there is not what he has put out there. But see, now he has given the public the opportunity to say, oh, okay, now they say NDC and NPP are into galamsey. As if the party position is that when we are in power, we do galamsey. So, see, it's not the issue. See, galamsey is such a serious issue that all of us in this country must take it serious rather than what we are saying. See, we've just been warned that the rains have failed for the major season in the south and even in the north.
Yeah.
And that the minor season that we are entering into now, if we are not careful, we may not even have enough rain to do the minor season.
Yeah.
So Meteo is actually advising farmers that they should plant seeds with shorter maturity, because even the rains that will come in during this minor season will not be much. What does it mean? It means that we are going to face a food crisis. How do you resolve it? It means we should rather prioritize irrigation agriculture. What do you do for irrigation? What do you use for irrigation? It is water. Are you going to use this polluted galamsey water for irrigation farming? So when we are talking about galamsey, we are not looking at the kind of danger we are moving towards. Because then you are going to face a situation when we will be in a food crisis. You have money that you can set up irrigation across Ghana, but the water bodies are not available for it because you have destroyed all of them. So in the midst of plenty, you still die out of hunger because you cannot even do the irrigation because the water body is gone and you can't do galamsey. So you can't do the irrigation.
So even though people are saying it's a water security issue, it's actually a water and food security. It is a
major, look, it's a major food security issue. Aside water, it's a major food security issue. And from there, it's a major health issue.
Health issue as well.
Because if you look at the chemicals that these guys are using, and these chemicals are filtering through the water, don't deceive yourself that because Ghana Water said they have processed the water, it means that those chemicals are gone. No. The water may look clean, but those chemicals will be hiding in there somewhere. So even if they point all the alum and all the chemicals Ghana Water will use to filter it to make sure that it looks nice like a clean water, that water itself is still not good for consumption. So we are now complaining about liver and kidney failures. It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. It's going to get worse when we drink more of that type of water. And this is what we should, and the health bill that will be on government. Now everybody cries that my disease should be covered by health insurance. How can health insurance cover every disease? Can any government afford it anywhere in the world? No. It's not possible. But because of situation we are in, we take government anything, it's not possible. So the diseases that are rising and we are complaining now, look, they are going to get worse with drinking of this kind of water. Look, the body said that when you put in anything that is not supposed to be in the body, it has an effect. So when we are putting all these things up and we are doing something to do borehole water, which borehole water? This water is the same that is seeping into the ground. So if you dig borehole, you are going to do the same polluted water because the chemical will seep into the land and infect all the groundwater that you are looking for. So you may seek a borehole, see a clean water, but when you drink, you are drinking the same chemicals that is the polluted water. So from water security to food security to health, we are in a major situation. So for politicians to sit in parliament and instead of them say national security, come here, come and tell us all the reports we've done on galamsey, give it to us. We want to see what we have found. And then we see what solutions we can find. That's not what they are doing. But they are rather throwing jabs at each other. Look, Nobody should tell me that any government to come and Galamsey will force to. I've said the Galamsey is like the cocaine business. Okay? Anything that has a lot of money in there, stopping it is impossible. You can minimize it. But why is America, the whole Europe, have Interpol? They say they will fight crime and drug. Check annually the quantity of drugs that goes to Europe and America every year. You have to say, with all the security, why is it going? Because even within their security apparatus, people are there who will take money and allow these drugs to go through. So if you set up any task force in this Ghana to fight Galamsey, they will also go and collect money. Because I just checked a bar of gold, one bar that you see. The last I think it's about $2 million, one bar. If you see one bar of gold, last week.
An ounce is about 2,000.
Yeah, that's that bar. When you see that bar, it's about $2 million. So don't joke with it. The first half of this year, Minerals Commission has brought out data and says that gold proceeds amount to $5 billion. Check the small scale mining, $1.7 billion. That is for legal scale, small scale. Legal small scale made 1.7 billion. So it means that all the multinational, the big ones we see, they made 3.3 billion. The small ones you see, they made $1.7 billion. $1.7 billion economy. You think you can fight it? And that is not the legal one. No. The illegal one maybe 10 billion. Okay? The illegal one and the smuggle of gold. When this government came to buy, they said we're looking for gold data. What did we find? Gold worth over 16 billion had been sent to India and Dubai. Yes, there's no record in Ghana that those gold had been sent there. So you see, that sector is a multi-billion-dollar sector. And therefore, when there's an illegality in that sector, to fight it, it needs both the NDC and NPP agreeing that this is the way. But when we have this kind of division to say, under somebody's government, Galamsey was more than my government, which is a justification and not a solution.
Yeah.
It is not what they have said amounts to a justification.
Yeah.
That if they did it more than under your government, then when the one under my government is less, it's okay.
Yeah.
That is the meaning of what he has said.
Yeah,
if he really understood what he said, that's what he has said.
Yeah.
And then how will you, in your mind, want to justify something like Galamsey and say that somebody did it more than me? That can never be a justification in the situation we find ourselves in. So I think that, look, people need to understand that what is happening. And see, sometimes we sit in Accra, I'm in Volta, we think that the Galamsey will not affect us. It will affect everybody in Ghana.
Yeah.
It will affect everybody in Ghana. Because there's food shortage. You know, Volta, for instance, we don't have much land for farming because the water has taken most of our lands. So a lot of the food, the other things, they are coming from places that Galamsey. And right now, the up north that we call that is the food basket. Go and check what is happening in Galamsey in up north now. They have also realized that there's gold in their land. Go and see the level of the last time the military have to go to protect Bui Dam to go and put in a forward operating base near Bui Dam to make sure that Galamsey that is happening doesn't come to the dam. They are getting closer to the Bui Dam. Wow. So we must and imagine the Bui Dam going down because of Galamsey. So what we are talking about here, please, whether you're NDC or NPP or CP or whatever you are, even if you are the greedy businessman who is into Galamsey, understand that the consequence of what we are doing now, for the next 100 years, the impact of what we are doing now will still be felt in Ghana.
Okay, thank you. All right, Gobi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, your take on this matter.
You know, I am sad as a Ghanaian. And when you talk, some of these young people in parliament probably did not see Ghana when Ghana was working. As a young man, I'll put my hand under the tap, running water from the tap, I'll drink and go to school.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So sometimes what they grew up to see is pure water. So they talk without thinking. Any sensible parliamentarian, somebody that I had a lot of respect for, like Annoh-Dompreh, should not even open his mouth and make such a statement. And it is sad. These parliamentarians in parliament, both NDC and NPP, they are behaving like two young kids on a playing ground. Doing nay. You remember that thing?
Yeah.
And this is exactly some of them Evans is talking about how the debate used to be rich. It was for ideas. Substance. Not because you stole more under your administration than me.
Yeah.
Stealing is stealing. You get my point?
Yeah.
And to me, Ghanaians, I keep saying that we the populace, we are not angry enough. We've been beaten down so much that we don't even know what to do. If this had happened in any other advanced country, this guy will lose his election. I'm telling you, any civilized.
It's just a matter of simplicity. They go vote you out immediately.
I get to my point. That means he's not thinking about his people. He's from Insawama, right?
Yeah. And they have major problems there too.
That's what's the name of the Brim. That is
yeah.
Has he been to see the Brim River? Look, Galamsey.
2 years ago or so, Insawam didn't have water because of Galamsey.
Of course.
The treatment plant was shut down.
You know, it is funny how Ghanaians, the leaders, because we don't hold them accountable, behave like they are ostriches. Have you seen Konongo? For the past, I say maybe 10 years, as you are approaching Konongo main town, on the right-hand side, you can see that the land was caving in. When you are driving to Kumasi, we have presidents, vice presidents, speaker, chief of staff, everybody driving to Kumasi, and they pretended they didn't see. I saw it. So how come they did? Because guess what? We speed them away in a convoy. I don't have a convoy, so I drive slow. When you say that in Ghana, and this is where I think, as Mr. Alan Kojo Chamati is saying, and some of them are also saying that the constitution needs to be looked at. Okay, there is too much given to certain people. The Article 71 people.
Okay.
Okay. One of the papers there, the speaker is even speaking about.
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
He did.
Okay. The question I will ask is, he, the speaker, how much money have you spent on him, on his medical bills when he travels outside? He's happy to travel outside and leave you and I at the mercy of Kolebu, and we are not angry. We should tell him to stop. It is our money. You and I go to Kolebu. Okay? We allow these politicians to play politics. Even one of the modern hospitals in Accra, University of Ghana Hospital, they played politics with it until COVID came. Guess the people who went there first? It was the politicians. You and I didn't get opportunity to go.
Interestingly, only because they couldn't fly out of the country.
No, that is what I'm telling you, that that's why they went there. You get my point. We are not angry enough. And the Ghanaian, we've been consumed with this NPP NDC thing. Look, people say, why are you with Mr. Lanchobal? He says the duopoly of NDC NPP will never allow Ghana to develop. My brother, touch wood, NDC wins power. 50% of the population will become inactive because we assume that almost 50% is NPP, 50% is NDC. So how do you develop a country like that? A country that the parliamentarian, when he goes to his constituency, when he's doing campaign to be elected, he talks about the whole constituency. But once he is elected, then he talks about the people of his party. So even the parliamentarian that says he is representing a constituency, that's why Annoh-Dompreh can say things like that. And I'm so angry that the people of Insawama should vote this man out because he doesn't care about them. Anybody that makes such a loose statement on the floor of parliament, and he expects us to call him honorable. What is honorable about the statement? That you are blaming somebody? Granted, let's assume that NDC has populated or polluted
the water bodies more than
you. That's why we voted NDC out. If we wouldn't vote NDC out, to the level that the president, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa, says, I have put my presidency on the line. And you, as a member of his party, you are the, is it a minority leader now?
Majority chief whip.
Majority chief whip, who whips everybody in line. Even when the person has a different idea. And you can't even whip people in line to tell the president that, Mr. President, you have failed. Because look, Africans, honestly, we don't have shame. If we had shame, certain things won't happen. My brother, if we had shame, certain things will not happen in Africa. Because in other jurisdictions, it wouldn't even occur. He would apologize. Netanyahu apologized 2 days ago for the Essex nonsense he's doing in
Israel,
Palestine. He apologized because he realized that the people had risen. Have you seen the demonstrations
in the
now?
streets? Yeah, in the streets. Yeah.
In Ghana, the only time we rise is when NDC calls for his supporters to rise, or NPP calls for their supporters to rise. We can never have a joint Ghana demonstration in the interest of Ghana, not in the interest of a political party, not in the interest of a leader. The young people did it in Kenya. In Kenya, the young people who were on the street, I'm sure that some of them belong to the government in power, but they said it is their future. So they will not allow any old man who is about to die to make their life miserable. We sit in Ghana, and these young men, that's what even annoys me. Instead of them using this to coordinate and get their lives to think alike and say this is how we are going to move forward and make the future better for us. They sit on it and insult each other across political lines. One thing is even more dangerous is they will use it even to spread rumors.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Lies.
Fake news. And these are young men, because you know what? Me, I don't know. I don't even have the master of this thing. I always call my nephew or my dad. Baby, can you? I get my point.
Yeah.
But the question is, what is the youth? Because guess what? Me, I'm closer to that 70 years that God promised that the Bible says that 70 is when we should go. And if you have any other extra years, it's a plus. So the question is, and this is why I also hold people like my age and a little older, people that you saw Ghana better. 6 March comes, watch documentary on Ghana, Independence Day, before independence. See the streets of Ghana. See the people on the streets. See the clothes that they wear. See their hairstyle. See their behavior. Now the politician is so coward and timid himself that he can't even say the right thing. Because what? Like Ivan said that in parliament the pay should be rich. With Ghana, we don't even know how somebody votes. So that's why they've turned into attacks and insults. In other jurisdictions, and you know what is even dangerous is they have that system in parliament, the voting record, where you push, it will record or record an issue on, let's say, woman's right. How did you vote? That is what your opponent will use in campaigning against you, that women of Adwejri, when it came to water pollution, Honorable Annoh-Dompreh voted yes for it. That is how we do campaign. Not this nonsense, not these irresponsible statements. I am very, very pissed off that, you see, very soon I have to wake up 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe 7 o'clock in the morning, to go and queue to vote for somebody who will not be responsible. That is what I'm afraid of. Because when I go, all of us cannot go to parliament. Otherwise, I'll be there to tell them my mind, Because a lot of the things that they do, it is not very honorable. It is not Ghanaian. It is not patriotic. So why are they even there? Okay.
Please wrap it up for me.
No, all I'm saying is we should not allow, we the people of Ghana. Do you know they say power by the people, to the people and for the people. They are nothing without us. So this is what I want Ghanaians to understand. These so-called special people, they are nothing without us. Look, Honorable Alan Chomati is saying that let's stop this duopoly. Let's think about Ghana. Time has come. Everybody talks about Nkrumah. Nkrumah thought about Ghana. The next president I'll say who thought about Ghana was Ike Champo. He was the head of state who was able to unite Ghana. A Champo took a northerner to the south, took a southerner to the north, took whatever to the east. Kumasi, ask anybody who grew up in Kumasi. Kenya Banasco. Okay, ask. Then we have people who didn't see all these things. When I was coming to Kumasi with my mother to come and attend school at a Blue Boys boarding, I went to a proper boarding school. Not these so-called private schools that don't. Before when I got to secondary school, my brother, I knew how to tie a knot of a tie. I knew how to use a fork and a knife. I knew how to wear, you know, that was when systems were there. You haven't seen anything. And you sit because out of chance, out of ignorance of the people, they vote for you, you get there and you are telling us nonsense.
Thank you.